What a joke you told there. It was absolutely the bomb. You know, I've had a weird day. I'm going to share my opinion on pirated launchers, well, in this video. And can you imagine, the reaction was, to put it mildly, negative. 100,000 people in the comments. And all because of one damn clickbait. Although, all YouTubers use it. Why can't I? Am I a special person or something? What do I need to shit? I tried to explain that pirated launchers can be normal, but it caused such a storm, as if I insulted everyone. You know how it happens when you want to share damn information? That's the thing. Maybe it's not me? Or has the internet community changed so much? People are so quick to lash out without trying to understand my intentions. I think we need to do something about it. Maybe we should raise the issue of internet toxicity. Oh, and if anything happens, you'll go get some tea. Okay. Back on the field. But today it smells like toxicity. Let's get this straight. When someone shares their thoughts online, they often find themselves under fire from criticism, humiliation, or insults. Some people immediately call it whining, but it's important to understand the difference between whining and expressing thoughts. So, whining is when a person constantly complains, but does not offer any solution or action. For example, Natick would shout something like this: "I'm sick of all these tasks. It will never end." But expressing a thought is a completely different thing. For example, "I feel the pressure of the current tasks. Maybe not to go crazy from now on." For example, my video about Fun Launcher, where I don't force anyone to download. I just talked about the pros, but the comments were full of negativity without arguments. Are there such creatures? Schoolchildren. As much as I don't like them, they often write without understanding the situation, without explanations, just to take a shit and leave, like pigeons. Only pigeons are smarter than them. Let's talk about comment etiquette. Justify your criticism. Why don't you like something? What exactly is his problem? Contact the developer. If there are bugs, write to the developer. And not just in the comments. Don't insult. We are all human, and insults do us no good. Use a constructive approach, offer solutions, do not criticize. Don't try to be a smartass, it won't help you. Now we get closer to piracy and licensing. A topic that has caused a lot of controversy. I understand that this is a sensitive topic, especially for those who sell their license, but it turns out that it is also for the English-speaking audience. But remember, it is not prohibited in my country. I understand all this. That's why I touched on this topic in this video. But remember, if a person does not want or cannot buy a license, this is not a reason for insults. It is important to respect. I myself use a pirate voucher. I myself use pirate systems. So what? So what? Do you have to insult me? No. You've had enough already. And don't say that I don't have a license. I do. But I don't see the point. I like the pirate system because I'm used to it. It's become more familiar to me than the license itself. But this is my choice, and I don't impose it on others. It's important to understand that everyone makes a choice based on their capabilities and preferences. Here are a few things to consider. The right to choose. If you can't buy a license, that doesn't make you a bad person. You need to respect copyright, but also understand that availability may be limited. And sometimes piracy is used for educational purposes. For example, you saw this game and were like, damn, will my computer run it? It seems to fit the description, but who knows? And in such situations, piracy can even help you test the game. There is even a small rule, and the rule is as follows: if after the game you really liked it, don't stand still, donate money to him, help him with improvements. And if you didn't like it, then it's better to delete it and not pay this developer. That's how it is. This is the best thing you can do. Let's move on to the whistleblowers on YouTube. They often criticize without sufficient knowledge or experience. Just to become popular, their criticism may not be objective. Aimed at reducing the popularity of others, it is important to analyze sources and not take everything that is said at face value. Let's delve deeper into the topic of so-called whistleblowers in the context of Minecraft launchers. Often, such individuals claim to be experts or hackers, or idiots. Spread information that certain launchers are viral. Sure, I can also throw the launcher on VirusTotal or FileScan. But for me, it's best to analyze it completely, myself. And sandboxes can be wrong about this too, so if I tell you a secret, and at the same time not having sufficient technical background to back up my words. For example, if you ask one of these whistleblowers if he can decompile executable.exe files, he will most likely admit that he doesn't have such skills. But then you can brag about your knowledge of Java. Or you can decompile it. How cool, fucking hell. And imagine, I can decompile too. This is the most elegant file. And even then, it can update itself after installation. So I'll tell you a joke. This is a clear mismatch between the skills required for security analysis and what these developers can actually offer. Quick update. Code obfuscation. This is the process of programmers deliberately making code harder to understand. It's like writing a cake recipe but using words or phrases that no one would understand. Or randomizing the steps. Omission is done to protect the code from those who might want to steal it or understand how it works. Now we'll move on to its flip side, decompilation. Decompilation is the reverse process. Imagine you have that obfuscated cake recipe, and decapitation is when you try to disassemble that recipe to understand what it says. No, well, if of course, it's all written in Arabic, you won't understand a damn thing. You look at a finished cake or a finished program and try to reconstruct the recipe. That is, the source code that was used to create it. I can describe the process like this. Why do you need a finished program? That is, a cake. A regular, ordinary cake. Second, this is analysis. You start to take it apart. Look at what ingredients were used, how they were mixed. Well, the last thing is restoration. You try to write the recipe back, but it may not be as accurate as the original. Especially if the cake was very complex or the recipe was abused. But then again, there are Arabic characters there too. The methodology used by such debunkers is often limited to superficial scans or using incomplete data, which leads to erroneous conclusions. Yeah, that's more for me because I used to use scanners, but then I realized that decompiling and deserialization would be more accurate. For example, with Key Launcher. Without telling you this crap, I'll try to put it in simple language. First of all, viruses formally exist. If you don't refuse it. If you refuse, well done, you're awesome. And also, yes, it can decorate the license, because the opisnik is not real. And I analyzed the Mojang agreement policy, and therefore, off I go. Sorry. That's it. Otherwise, the launcher is suitable for pirates. And if you again don't agree with this launcher, formally without viruses, you can play normally with it. And just don't run it as administrator. This is also important. Otherwise, your account will be stolen. Real research requires a deep understanding of not only programming languages, but also program structure, omission methods, and modern malware analysis methods. It is also important to note that these developers sometimes use their platform to promote competing products. There is a kind of paradox in this. They criticize one launcher, but they themselves can be users or even partners of another. It was cool when we shit on T-Launcher. By the way, I will continue to shit on it to this day, because really it also has some small pitfalls. For example, there is a catch with the license. There is also a catch with the opera that it offers, like with ClampShare. And how can you find out? It collects data on you, and by the way, this is not hidden in the agreement policy, so at least study it so you understand. What a load of crap. Well, by the way, they themselves may be users or even partners of another one, which in turn may have its own security issues. If such recommended products end up being infected, instead of admitting their mistake and apologizing to the public in a normal way, fuck. No. These whistleblowers often resort to new whistleblowers as a way to distract attention. You're fucking great, bro, that's it. Listen. Shove a carrot up your ass. Simple as that. It will help you. It actually helps your eyesight in a fucking way. I read in the instructions, you have to stick it up your ass. It helps. I'm answering you. This approach not only misleads the audience, but also undermines the credibility of those who actually analyze software security. This highlights the importance of a screaming mindset on the content consumption side. After that, you should check the qualifications of who is behind the revelations. Do they have real experience in the field of cybersecurity? Look for confirmation. Where is the evidence for their statements? And not this damn evidence. Where is the sandbox I tested there or took a virtual machine? These are the wrong tests. First, if you at least use a helicopter, then log all the data. And I don't know, send it to Discord, you can leak it to GitHub, but the main thing is that we at least see what you specifically did. We don't have enough videos, we need logging. No logging, go! And look at the motivation. What does the whistleblower get from his revelation? Advertising? Sponsored? Or are they genuinely committed to keeping the community safe? It's important to understand that malware protection requires a professional approach. Based on factual data, thorough analysis, and ethical principles. Those who do it must be prepared to back up their findings, and not be shy about admitting mistakes. In fact, I admit my mistake, that I was an idiot for using scanners. That's it, I'm a real idiot. But then I changed and went for deserverization and decompilation. Voila. Now I understand that you're my comp. If such were allowed, and not use new criticism to justify yourself, never criticize your actions, just act. It's important to ask if they have any experience. They often use second-hand information without personally testing the products. What are their motives? I repeat again. Many developers may pursue personal interests rather than strive for the truth. And the quality of arguments. And again, quality. The quality of such arguments is important to us. Should criticism be trusted or is it just loud words without evidence? After all, every time a person criticizes, he can provide little evidence. Of course, we ourselves, people, must also understand this, because a YouTuber is not a factor of trust. No, he is if, of course, he has a shitload of subscribers. But remember, the number of subscribers does not equal his experience. Experience is experience. Are you satisfied? That's it. However, not all whistleblowers are bad. Some can really offer valuable insights and help avoid deception. But even here it is important to critically evaluate the information. For example, if he provided his evidence, then it is better to look for evidence or other sources yourself. Also look at his reputation. Of course, this is of little importance to you. After all, reputation, yes, it seems to play a role, but sometimes it is unreal. For people like schoolchildren, it seems to play a role, but for an intelligent person, reputation is zero. That is, he does not care what his reputation is. But also objectivity. Look for comments from other users who can give an alternative view. And if there are a lot of them, then think about it. Did the blogger really tell the truth? Or did he lie to you? Now if we had a common Discord server, maybe we would become more understanding and less toxic. Now toxicity is bad. If you don't like something, it's better to just leave without wasting time on negativity. Be yourself, believe in yourself, don't give in to provocations and try to be constructive. It's also worth noting how important it is to understand that each of us influences the atmosphere on the internet. Here are some tips on how to create a healthier environment and support, not criticism. Notice and emphasize the good moments, not just the mistakes. Constructive dialogue. Instead of just criticizing, suggest solutions or improvements. And why the hell am I tired of your critics? Really, go home. We're not interested in you. Empathy. Try to put yourself in someone else's shoes to understand their point of view. And remember that the internet is a reflection of our society. We can change it for the better, starting with ourselves. Creating content that inspires, educates, and connects people without dividing them. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. But please do it constructively. If you have questions, suggestions, or just want to discuss something, I'm always happy to hear from you on our Discord server or on Telegram. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos and discussions. Until next time, until new adventures. Bye.